Thinking of relocating to Portugal? The idea of relocation is great if you have a well-thought-out plan and goal in mind. If not, you will be in for a rude surprise and mess. Portugal is a beautiful country that offers endless possibilities if you know how to navigate it. This is why allocating sufficient time to organize certain matters is crucial before moving. If you are unsure about what to do and how to get things set, here are some steps to take before considering relocating to Portugal. If you follow through, you will be grateful in the end. Visa types and application. The first thing you want to check is the kind of visa you can apply for. As trivial as this may seem, it can impede your smooth transition to Portugal if you do not carefully address it. For a long-term stay, you are only exempt from worrying about getting the right visa if your country is a member of the European Union, EU, or your spouse is a citizen of an EU country. When it comes to visa applications, Portugal offers a wide variety of options that you can explore depending on what you want and why you are visiting Portugal. If you are relocating to study, you can obtain a study visa, known as the D4. If, on the other hand, you're going to work, then you should obtain a work visa, known as the D1. If you are relocating to secure a business deal or something similar, then the D2 is the visa for you. Of course, it is important to understand that each visa type has unique qualifications. So I suggest you take the time to study the unique features of each kind of visa and the conditions attached. There are many more visa types you can explore, such as the nomad visa, the passive income visa, or the retirement visa, among others. Once you have secured the right visa, you can travel to Portugal and obtain a residence permit to live there. Accommodation. You sure do not want to miss any steps in your relocation plans, so make sure to like and subscribe to receive more valuable updates about Portugal and making money online. You also want to settle on your accommodation before heading to Portugal. Have you researched the available accommodations? Are you renting an apartment or buying a property? Securing good accommodation is one of the most challenging aspects of relocating to Portugal, and you do not want to move out of the comfort of your home to sleep on the street in another country. So, the wise thing to do before relocating to Portugal is to figure out your accommodation plans. Thankfully, the world is fast becoming a digital village. That gives you the leverage to reach vendors online even before moving to Portugal. However, you should exercise caution to avoid dealing with scammers. Check out verified real estate websites in Portugal, get landlord contacts, and schedule online meetings with them. Even this approach may not always provide the solution. If you have a trustworthy person who can check out the apartments and negotiate on your behalf in Portugal, that will be extremely helpful. It is advisable to use registered professionals in Portugal. When considering a choice of accommodation, some things to look out for are the size, the region in which it is located, the cost of the property, whether it is a rental or bought, proximity to public transport, nearness to hospitals, schools, if you have kids, restaurants, and so on. Organizing your accommodations before relocation solves half of your problems. Employment? Another important thing to do is decide on the nature of the work you will be doing in Portugal when you relocate there. You must make this decision if you want to avoid any complications during your stay in Portugal. No matter how wealthy you are, doing something that places food on your table daily helps to keep you financially secure. Some of the questions to consider are whether you want to work with a Portuguese employer or whether you want to work independently, whether remotely or self-employed. If you are considering working with a Portuguese employer, make sure to get a job offer from your employer, and sometimes your employer will sponsor your work visa for relocation. If you are working independently, you must have proof of income or proof of savings to apply for a visa. Documentation. It is also important to put your documents in order as you plan your relocation. Here is the list of documents you will need to put in place. IMA or CEF form. This is the Immigration and Border Service form. This is a crucial document that you must complete. It is visa-specific, so make sure you fill out the one that aligns with the type of visa you are applying for. Proof of income. The Portuguese government requires proof of income or means of subsistence to ensure that you are not coming into their country as a liability. So, they will require that you provide a document that attests to your capability to cater for yourself while you are living in their country. This could be your regular income, your bank statement, or a support letter from your sponsor if you have one. Passport. Your passport is also an important document to put in place. Without it, you cannot travel, so you should check to see that it is intact. Ensure it remains valid for 1 to 2 years, or determine if a renewal is necessary. International travel insurance. This should cover your medical expenses and repatriation costs. Additionally, it must fulfill the minimum requirements set by the Portuguese government. Criminal record. It serves as a background check to determine whether you have been involved in any crimes in your home country or any place you have lived for a while. These are the essential documents that are usually required. However, you should check to see if there are other documents required for your specific visa type to avoid unnecessary problems. Other documents, such as your driver's license, birth certificate, marriage certificate, or even a diploma, could be instrumental while you are in Portugal, so it does not hurt to hold them. You should also translate and legalize your documents into European Portuguese to ensure that Portuguese authorities recognize and accept them. You have to apply for your visa and get it before you can relocate. This requires a bit of diligence, so you do not muddle things up. You can apply online by visiting the VFS Global website. You should also book an appointment and pay the visa application fee. The last thing to do is visit the on-site visa application center with all the required documents. The next step is to patiently await the acceptance of your visa application, which could take several months. You can, however, track the progress of your application online. Upon acceptance of your visa application, you will receive an email or an SMS and receive your passport back. Language and culture. Another important step to take as you prepare to relocate to Portugal is to learn the Portuguese language and way of life. About 90% of communications and interactions in Portugal are in Portuguese, so there is no way you can avoid learning the language if you want to have a smooth and enjoyable stay in Portugal. In addition to being a necessity, learning Portuguese is also a great way to integrate into Portuguese society and culture. If you want to win the hearts of your Portuguese friends and associates, you might want to start by speaking their language with them. Learning the language can be challenging, but it is not impossible. That is why you should consider downloading an app. We recommend learning Portuguese fast and enjoying it for 7 days free of charge. Link in the description. As you make moves to relocate to Portugal, you should prepare to adjust and adapt to the way of life there. Regardless of where you are coming from, you can be sure to find a different society and tradition in Portugal, so prepare for that. Are you considering moving to Portugal but do not know where to start? Our exclusive guide, From Nomad to Neighbor, is here to help. This essential resource will guide you through everything you need to know to live and earn money in Portugal. You can find the link in the description and pinned comment. Shipping and luggage. Shipping your luggage is another important step to fulfilling your Portuguese relocation plans. In my opinion, you should only relocate items that are difficult to replace upon arrival in Portugal. It is best to leave your couch, refrigerator, and other large furniture behind, as you can easily replace them upon arrival to avoid incurring additional shipping costs. If you are certain that some of your properties are not essential, you may consider selling them before moving. However, if you are sentimental about some of these properties, perhaps inherited from your grandparents, and wish to preserve the legacy, seek out a reputable moving service with expertise in customs and regulations. What are the things you cannot help but take along with you when relocating? Kindly drop your comment in the comment section. Finances. Another important step in relocating is to align your finances. Money spending and management are essential parts of daily life. As you are relocating, you need to monitor your finances more closely than ever before. This is because you will be dealing with a currency change, and the value rate in your country may differ significantly from Portugal's. Therefore, managing your finances effectively is crucial to ensuring that your relocation will not negatively impact them. Another aspect of this is opening a bank account in Portugal. Opening a Portuguese bank account can be technical due to language differences and an unfamiliar banking process, but it is not impossible. All you need is an NIF number, which you can also get online, but you have to be wary of bank charges. One way to avoid this is to open an IBAN account online with only 2 documents. It is quite simple, and you will receive a free virtual card that you can use to make purchases in Portugal, just like a local. You have several options, but the one we use and recommend is Wise, which you can find the link in the description and have your first transfer free of charge. Education. If you are relocating to Portugal as a student or have children who are still in school, you must consider the schools in Portugal before making your decision. You can choose between public and private schools. Public schools are way cheaper and accessible to all classes of people. However, they teach in Portuguese. Private or international schools, on the other hand, are pretty expensive, although they embrace the English language. So you have to weigh your options and decide what is best for your children, based on what you can afford. If your kids are small, you should consider childcare options before moving to Portugal, particularly if you prefer English-speaking care, as these spaces tend to fill up quickly. Since you are most likely to drive in Portugal, you should also make sure you get an international driving permit before relocating. These are the necessary steps you should take if you want to make Portugal your second home. Additionally, there are numerous other valuable lessons to be learned. That is why we recommend you watch this video and playlist.